Welcome to the Life Happens podcast. I'm your host, Grace. As you guys know, the Life Happens podcast is a podcast where we combine our spirituality with everyday practical things to create this beautiful balance that you see. Guys, tonight the title is In Laws and Family Ties Navigating Relationships After I Do.
Come
So,
on
marriage
now.
is about two people, it's about bringing families together. Now, along with the joy and support and in laws, comes sometimes brings challenges and stress, right? So, in this episode, we're going to explore the complexities of merging families. We're going to share insight and advice on how to build healthy relationships with your in laws. Whether you're navigating a close knit family or setting boundaries, we'll try to help you understand because some of us have been married and divorced and we understand the complexity of in laws. Some of us haven't been married, but we are in long term relationships or you know, whatever your scenario is. But before I get into it, guys, hi everyone. Hey Felicia,
Hi.
Brian, Tanya's back, guys.
So I haven't seen the intro. I love it.
You haven't seen it?
No, I haven't been watching because you on Sundays we were doing some football training, and
Right.
I pay attention to that.
Okay. Kim, can you introduce our guest, please?
Yes, I have. I invited someone. He is so dear to my heart. I have known Joshua for a long time. When Joshua was a young man, and so now he's a daddy and everything. So, but anyway, this is Joshua Black, and I will let Joshua tell you all about himself. He has so many attributes; it would just take me all day to name them all. So,
I mean, you can
I'll let
definitely
Joshua tell
try.
you about himself.
I mean, if you want to name them all, go for it. I'll sit and listen. I'm playing.
Yes, exactly. Right. He's also Joshua's also my trainer.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Get me in shape.
So since she started with that, I am a personal trainer at a gym here called Shiloh Fitness. It's in Corinth, Texas. If y'all want to come, I can always take more clients. So come on to me. Shameless plug right there. But anyway, so I am 33 years old. I have been married once and divorced. Have two beautiful kids. They are the loves of my life. I am recently now in another relationship, and God is just killing me from past relationships, past traumas, all of that stuff in this relationship, which is absolutely crazy to me. But yeah, and so that's what I am. I'm also a singer, a worship leader, and I just love Jesus. That's the basics of who I am.
It's the whirlwind of who he is. Yeah. I like
Yeah.
it. Welcome.
Great. Welcome.
I'm glad to be a part of this.
We're glad to have you. Have you guys had a chance to watch the video? Would you like to just jump into this mess?
Let's go for it.
All right.
Am I the asshole for kicking my wife out after she punched my mom in the face?
For some reason,
What'd your mom do?
my immediate gut reaction is no. My immediate gut reaction is the mother-in-law deserved it. But let's see.
Let's see. My situation went from bad to worse in a matter of a week, and I don't know where else to turn. I need to know if I was wrong. Possibly a validation thing because life is fucking dumb right now. My wife and I have been together for 8 years, and she just gave birth to our first and last baby 2 months ago. Up until my wife got pregnant, my mom loved her. I'm not sure what the fuck is going on with my mom or why the switch happened, but after my wife got pregnant, my mom started being very clingy to me and started avoiding my wife at all costs. Told everyone she wasn't excited about the pregnancy, etc. I threatened to go no contact with her when my wife was about 7 months along, and after that, she snapped out of it for the most part and stopped being so ignorant. The comments 100% stopped, at least, though she was still clinging to me. Now, a week ago, my mom, my sister's husband, and my sister's daughter, 12, came over for dinner. I prepared the meal. Before my wife could eat anything, our daughter got fussy, so my wife excused herself to go feed the baby and get her down to sleep. I thought I prepared enough, but apparently not, because my niece was still starving. Parentheses, she's 5'5" and 190 pounds. I haven't seen her in a year, and she was not that size then, so I didn't exactly portion in an extra 3 helpings for a child. So that's on me.
Is that just like a snarky remark?
I don't know
She
what the
eats for
fuck
four.
that was. I apologized and told her that I hadn't made any more and offered her crackers as I was putting my wife's portion into the fridge. After that, I just went outside with my sister's husband to smoke a cigarette and shoot the breeze. Didn't think anything of it. But then I hear yelling from inside. When I walk in, my wife and my mom were screaming at each other. Apparently, my mom, who saw me put my wife's food away, gave my niece my wife's portion of food. As I was walking inside, I heard my mom say, quote, "Looks like you can afford to skip a meal," and slapped my wife's stomach. Right as soon as I get ready to step in, literally fast walking towards them, yelling, "Enough," my wife winds back and punches my mom square in the face and drops her.
Where do these people live? It's giving Florida. This is in Florida or Texas. I know it.
Gotta
It's
be.
certainly not Connecticut.
The whole house went silent outside of my mom crying and holding her face. I tell everyone to get the fuck out. Immediately, everyone leaves, and my wife just turned towards the counter and leans with her hands on the counter, face down, eyes closed. I look at my wife and say, "You too, leave now." She says, "Really?" She's crying at this point. I say a clipped, "Yep." She packs up her and the baby and leaves. I text her that night and say, I just need space. I need to decompress and come to terms with what just happened. She doesn't respond. The next 5 days, I'm texting and calling and I get nothing. She shows up here today, so now 8 days later, and hands me divorce paperwork and my baby and says, "Here, you have a bit to hang out with her while I pack. While I'm breastfeeding, we can work out a visitation schedule that is either at your place or my mother's until she will take a bottle." I told her, that's not what I want. I don't want to separate. I just needed time to process her punching my mother in the face. She said, quote, "You needing time to process gave me time to process the fact
Go off.
that I refused to be in this situation any longer. I defended myself. I initially felt bad and remorseful, but you making me leave when I needed you made me see more clear. I'm done. I'm sorry for what I did, but there's no fixing this." She refused to speak to me at all the rest of the time she was there. My house feels so empty, and I don't know what to do. Am I the asshole for making her leave after she punched my mom? I just needed some fucking space.
Whew.
My goodness.
Right, Joshua, would you like to start? What do you think?
Listen, when I watched that whenever Kim sent it to me, and I was like, whoa. My first initial was, why would you punch your mother-in-law? But after hearing that whole story, I was like, yeah, I understand. So it was, for me, it was like there was a build-up into it
Right.
that was like, mother-in-law almost had it coming, but at the same time, it was like, I wish that the daughter-in-law would have used a little bit more restraint.
Yeah.
I'm not going into punching, but yeah, the husband for kicking her out for that, absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. And that shows that the wife could not be in that type of relationship because he's always going to take up for someone else other than his wife. So that's my 2 cents.
CJ says, "Man, this is some fan fiction shit that Tyler Perry made, cause ain't no way."
No, there is. They, sometimes it gets out of control.
Oh,
Especially when you have
wow.
two different personalities. Both the personalities could have led up to that. I think it was definitely wrong. It does things like this between mother-in-laws and wives happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I have an experience that is very, very similar. I didn't punch her in the face.
What
I
did you
didn't
do?
push her,
I'm
though.
curious. All right.
I just pushed her. It wasn't a push. It was just put my arms out. She ran into him and she fell because she was older. She fell. She pushed herself. I said like this, and she fell. She ran because she tried to me, and I put my arms out because I knew, and she fell, and she was older, so she created a scene. I didn't go to jail because I had a witness, but it does happen, and it's just,
Yeah.
I guess, there's something about, and with me, I'm trying not to get like this with my son, but there is something about that. There's a lot of son bonds that are a little bit,
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
Sound like she
I
got
agree.
jealous.
I have
There's
I want to
seen
hear. I
these
want to
two
hear
people.
Brian.
You want to hear Brian? These two people are
Lady
adults.
Jane said
These two
Tanya
people.
lying. She's beating up old
Tanya
ladies.
lying. She beat up the old lady. These two people. You have to remember though. These two people are adults. This is not a child and an adult. These are two adults.
Mhm.
So if an adult hits you, then you have the right to hit
Defend
back.
yourself.
I'm an
That's
adult,
right.
you're an adult. We are
That's
adult people. So
right.
if you hit me, know that you're going to get hit back because I'm not going to take that. And it
Yeah.
sounds like this has been, like he said in the story, this has been going on for a long time. His mom has been
Seven
treating her
months.
bad, talking bad to her, doing all of that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
Because
no.
she started when the woman was pregnant, and he said he had to check her when she was pregnant, 7 months pregnant, told her they're gonna go no contact. So this has been a build-up. She should
Yeah,
have right
exactly.
with her ass. Anyway, I'm sorry, none of my opinion yet. Brian, we want to know what you think.
Felicia always want to talk about. She want to know what I think. She should go first this time.
You go first, because you
You
you the
go
man.
first.
No, no, no. Let Felicia go. I'm chilling.
Okay, I'll go ahead and go. First of all, the lesson in kindergarten: everybody keep their hands to themselves. The
Mhm.
mother-in-law should have never touched that woman. And as another woman who's had a child, she knows about the hormones, she knows about the weight gain, she knows about all that comes with having a newborn baby, and she's breastfeeding. So for you to have the audacity to go into that refrigerator
Mhm.
instead of saying, you know what, we'll stop and get you something to eat on the way home, but you took it upon yourself to go and get the food and then insult the daughter-in-law. To me, I put that on the husband because the mother felt totally comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
She
Right.
felt comfortable getting the food. She felt comfortable hitting on the stomach and talking to her crazy. She felt very comfortable. And I don't think it has anything to do, I think it does have something to do with the mother-son bond, but I think the mother does not know boundaries,
At
and
all.
it is on the child. I am a product of a person who does not know boundaries. It's on whose mother does not know boundaries. It is on the child, which is me, to say, "What? Hold up! Wait a minute! You're doing too much. You got too much dip on your chip right now. I love you, mom, but you can't know. Let me talk to my husband. Let me. You. I don't need you to do that. You know. So." And that didn't take long. When you stop that person and when they start something and you let them know, no, this not where it is. You teach them how to teach your spouse, how to treat your spouse. If you don't teach them how to treat your spouse, they'll continue to do this nonsense. So, do I fault the wife? No, I fault the husband 1,000%.
Thank you.
He should have stood up for her. He saw his mother hit her. He saw his mother give the child the food. He saw all of this, and you put your wife out. I'm like her, I'm out because you'll never protect me. Your
Thank
main
you.
job
Exactly.
is to protect me. And right now, I'm
That's
not being
right.
protected.
Well, she
Exactly.
felt like she was being protected when he asked his mom to leave. When he told them to get out, she's like, "Great, thank you, thank you."
That's
But
what
then
she
He told her
thought.
to leave
that's
too.
what she thought, right? That's what she
Yeah,
thought. She thought, "Oh, now I'm being protected. Now I
right.
am." You know,
No.
I remember talking to a friend, and some guys were flirting with her, and her husband was there, and she said, "I do not feel protected," because he was like making jokes about it, making jokes while this other guy was kind of like flirting and saying flirty things to
Oh
her.
wow.
And she turns around, looks at me, and she says, "I do not feel protected. I do
Hmm.
not feel like my husband protects me."
Wow.
And I was like, I get it. I get that. But he went along with the jokes and everything. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that marriage is dissolved. But
Yeah.
just now that I think about it. But yeah, so she thought she was getting the protection from her husband. But when he turned around, I just want to say when he turned around and told her to get out,
Yeah,
Baby.
that was it.
That
yeah,
was over.
That was over.
Overton says, wonderful show and topic that mother and son relationship is creepy. It is. It sounds, and I know narcissistic is a word that's just overused, but I've seen relationships in African households where mothers treat their sons almost like their husbands, especially if the husband has died. And
Mhm.
this is what this looks like to me. Like, it's just no. Now, You said something key, Kim. You said your friend said she didn't feel protected. This woman didn't feel protected. I'm not saying that women should wild out and then you expect your man to
No,
like, jeopardize his life because you can't
no,
shut the fuck up and you just talking shit.
Yeah.
No one's
no,
saying that. But
no.
in the sense of what happened, he should have known his wife and he sure as hell knows his mother. So for his wife to put hands, and then you saw what your mama did. You saw it. This woman is breastfeeding. She just had a baby. The hormones are out of control. Her body ain't right yet. Okay. That 5'5" kid, 190 pounds, she thick and she likes to eat. And somebody should have told her ass to sit down. You at a guest house.
Hmm.
Somebody should have took control.
Yeah.
Whether he cooks or not. I mean, there's so many things that what else? His mother was clingy, right? Um, 7 months into the marriage, into the what is it?
Pregnant.
Pregnancy,
Pregnancy.
Into
But they were together 8 years prior
right? So
with
this
no
is not
issue.
nothing new. This behavior has been consistent. There are no boundaries. What it sounds like to me, he has tried put up boundaries, but whenever uh the son kind of just is more relaxed, she just takes over again,
yeah.
right? That's what it sounds like to me. So anyway, Brian, we're waiting to hear from you.
I'm so glad y'all figured out that they ain't nothing new. Like all of y'all we have finally agreed. And Mr. Joshua, he started it out first. This is a build up.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. People can try to debate this all they want, but this isn't human nature. This isn't psychology. When your neurological system starts creating clusters and patterns, they're just going to happen. There's no such thing as, hey, my neurological system is going to wake up one day and I'm going to be a serial killer, and that's what I'm going to do. That's not what happens in the brain. In order for me to do that, I have to create clusters in my head over time for me to start doing that and to continue to do that. So this relationship between his wife, his mama, him, and whoever else involved, this is a not just 8 year brew up because Tanya mentioned this is a 8 year marriage. This happened before it. This is all this punch by his wife is just probably the apex of it. There's probably been a pushing match. She probably put her in the car and the mother-in-law slammed the car or slammed the house door or some physicality things have been brought up. It just hadn't got to fisticuffs and I hit you in the face and you hit me in the stomach and all that. However, I want to ask this question as a coach, right? And I've been in situations where one person is presumed innocent, the other person is presumed guilty, and then both people have had to be separated. And one person felt like that they were disrespected because they were. So if you've ever watched a basketball game and two people, let's just say I start something with another player, and y'all have seen that scenario where the other player reacts and the ref comes in and gives the technical foul to the person that reacted, not the person who did it, right? And then all of a sudden the two people have to get separated. And then there are times where the coach of the person who didn't do anything gets on to the player like, hey, man, why did you fall for that? Because you know they're after you. They know they want to get you mad. They wanted to. Why did you do that? And he's like, what you mean? He did it to me. All I'm saying is I'm not so sure that he's totally wrong for telling everyone to get out,
No,
right?
no.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he should have protected. I agree that he should have totally protected his wife. I totally agree with that because, uh, um, y'all have mentioned great reasons for that. But sometimes, just even if you're innocent in the matter, we don't know if he needed 60 seconds, 30 seconds.
I give a damn if
It's
it
not.
needs 2 seconds.
It's not to say that he felt that his wife was guilty about anything. Maybe he just needed to clear his head, and that's how he does it
Go to another book.
alone.
Go to
No, no,
another
no,
book.
no. Okay. Well, if that's the case, it's the same thing. Then he should have just walked himself out, than rather kicking everybody out. But it's the same thing. We don't know if he processes alone, or he process. We don't know if he processes well alone, processes well in the group. All I'm saying is, he should have protected his wife first, and he should have had her back. But then the processing part, we can argue about what he should have done after that by kicking everybody out or going to another room. I'm just saying that we don't know how he processes, and that has nothing to do with a being a mama's boy or anything like that. It's just some people just don't process well in the middle of emotion, in the middle of emotional crisis, and they need to be alone.
So
So all I'm saying is that may not be something that he's totally wrong for.
Well, do
okay,
you think
hold on.
that
In his
because
crisis, he can take his ass and go move on with Betty Sue and have another whole
okay,
family. That's what you
so
can do in your crisis, bro. No.
but he did not. Okay, think about what he said in the beginning. He's like, my mom and wife got along really great up until
Right.
she got pregnant, right? So do
Right.
you think that he missed all the cues up until that
He
point?
didn't the
Oh
shit.
yeah.
No,
Oh
no.
yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what.
Because for
Let's take it.
him,
Let's take it
because
one
for
of two
him,
ways.
but because for him, they had a great relationship. That's what he said.
Okay. So here's my deal. People fake the funk all the time about the realization of their relationship. People literally cheat on each other the night before and then post on Facebook, out lunch dinner with Bay. It happens all the time. To say that he ignored or he had no clue of these fallacies and these offenses that brewed up, that we all agree on, that brewed up it up until this climactic point where she touched her stomach and then the wife punched her in the face. That is ignorance. He's fooling himself and he's lying to us to say that all of this
Yes.
stuff just came out of the blue.
No, 8 years in, you know, and you live with this mother of yours for your whole life. You know.
It's
That
hard to fake the punks for 8 years and no one see anything.
nah,
Okay.
definitely.
I do have input on this. I have witnessed myself in-laws being nice nasty to you in your face while
Mm-hmm.
your husband is somewhere else.
Oh,
So yeah, they know how to do that. They know how to say your husband walks off and he's in another room. Girl, you sure got big. Or girl, you gained a little weight. Or you did. So she's been doing it. She may not have been doing it in front of him, but she's been doing little things. And this is a toxic mom altogether. Because
True.
why are you over there and this woman just had a baby? Why are you not cooking for them?
right.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
she just screams toxic to me. If
But
she's at
toxic to
home
a
with a
point
little
where he doesn't
baby,
know.
she should have been putting her plate away. Oh, if she's so loving, why she didn't put a plate away for the wife? You see what I'm saying? So she just
Yeah.
screams toxic to me. But she's been doing it. And some
True.
mothers do. I'm a boy mom, but I got a man. Some women use their sons as I've seen plenty of boy moms where it's like, okay, she doing too much. She doing way too. I've seen them where they doing way too much. Where they's like, oh yeah, you calling his phone, you might as well call me. Like, really, really, mom, is that what we doing? So some of these moms are very toxic, and some of these moms are very sneaky. They're gonna look like an angel in front of their son, but they're gonna treat you like a devil behind his back. And I know the wife has probably told it.
That's
So that's my point. Go ahead, Joshua. Go ahead.
I was agreeing with Felicia. I know that the wife has had to say something to the husband, and so that
Definitely.
just means that he hasn't said anything to his mom about it. Be like, listen, my wife is saying all this stuff. Why are you doing this?
Right.
And so if the mother continues to do that, that means the husband actually does not have his wife's back, and he's pretty much taking sides with his mom at that point.
Absolutely. So let me tell you something. I'm gonna talk about my mother, okay? My younger brother married a woman that he was in love with. My mother hated her. So in African culture, when you get married, the because my mother is her husband died many years ago, so she lives on her own. So when my brother got married, him and his wife moved into my mother's house. Right? That's very typical, in the culture. Well, my mother still wanted to continue cooking for my brother, and his wife was like, "No, that's my husband," which she has a right, right? She didn't want to always have dinner with my mother, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, my brother ended up divorcing his wife
Hmm.
because my mother didn't like her, right?
Wow.
Then, when my mother went back to my brother and says, "Listen, I can tell that you're in love with this woman, and if you want her, fine," he remarried her.
Wow.
So
Your mom got too much power.
my
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be the one to say that.
No,
Your mom got
no,
too
you
much
can say
power in
that's
that
what she said. That
relationship.
is not right. That is not, you don't do that. I mean, this woman don't sound as bad as my mama, but damn.
Yeah,
So
they
these
are.
things
I
do
mean,
happen.
they do because you're taking their man. It's just like for some mothers, it's their man. I've literally
Right,
seen some of these mothers act like their son is their man, and
right.
it's all good in the neighborhood until you give him something that the mother could never give him, and that's a
Like,
child. So that introduced something totally different to the whole equation. So now she's more important because this is my family. You notice that he started taking action after the woman got pregnant. So that became a problem. Whether it was conscious or subconscious or,
right.
it was a problem.
And he was probably spending more time with his wife versus his mother, and so she didn't like that.
Yep.
CJ says we got to stop out the mom-in-law together because she's on one. Baby, we're
Well,
not going to jail. Okay. Hey, Keisha.
Hey, Keisha.
one thing that he had said was that his mom had become really clingy. And so I think some men like that when their mom becomes clingy. They
But you
want their
know what?
mom.
I'll be honest though, like even me as a boy mom, I have to even check myself, right? And I think it's good to know yourself and check yourself. Not that you want your son to stay in your house forever, but I'll say this: out of my girls and my son seems slower. Not slower, boys develop slower, right?
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl,
Uh-uh.
he's not getting
You
slower.
messing with us now.
He's not as clued as the girls. So I tend to do more things for him, and my expectation is less to certain things, not everything, right? So we all, and I was telling my friend this, we all in the house take care of my son. We make sure he eats because, again, I am African. We do those things until I realize one day, what the fuck am I doing? Like I'm setting him up for failure because, first of all, he's not in Africa. We're not living in Africa. We're in the US of A. What woman's gonna want a man that's gonna wait for you to cook? Like one day he waited for me to come home and cook something. Like he was not gonna go make noodles. Although I banned him from cooking, but that's another story. But my point was, he almost burnt the house down, guys. He almost burnt the house down. Okay, that's fine. What I'm saying is that as a mother, you have to be honest with yourself with what's toxic about you. And if
Right.
you can't, and most people don't have any awareness to see that about themselves, and then
That's
we
what
make
it is. No.
right. But that's not what's happening in this situation. Um, I don't know if I should share. No, I'm not going to share something else with you, but nah. Anyway, we
We
have to
we
talk about this.
we also don't know. And of course, we can mention a million and trillion scenarios to this outside of what we actually know. But what's obvious is that the mother wants some type of control, right?
Right.
Or has some type of control that
Yes.
she's losing the more
Yeah.
components come inside of her son's marriage.
Right.
So let's just say Kim's right, and this dude is oblivious to his mom's actions for 8 years all the way up until the pregnancy. And what Felicia said, mom is totally sneaky
Right.
about talking trash to the daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law, never telling her husband where he just thinks nothing's happening. Let's just say that's true. Well, once there's other components that are taking attention and time away from the mom and son deal, because we know that is apparent, then that's where everything gets more complicated. That's where mom gets more pissed off. That's where mom starts throwing more jabs. And all of these jabs are intentional. There is nothing accidental about none of this, right? And she is trying to turn the daughter in law into some type of snake, some type of villain, some type of unwanted. Because here's what I know about mother and son relationships, whether they be good or bad. There is a telepathic signal that sons and moms can send to each other all the time. Trust me. I am my mother and I. We don't have to say a word, and we can just look like best friends. Like sometimes you got a best friend, and y'all just look at each other. Or there are marriages that are that close, where if the wife throws a signal at the man, he knows exactly what time it is, whether it's time to go or hey, come put your leg on me or whatever. There are signals that you can throw, and she's obviously trying to just villainize the daughter-in-law, and for whatever reason she wants her son back. Basically, she wants to be in control of something, and once again, the bad part about it is the son knows this, and he's just not doing anything about it. Whether he wants to play kumbaya or whether he doesn't know which one to pick, all I know is whether it be the Bible or cultural, like Like Rabia says, the Bible says when a man finds a woman, he leaves. He
Right.
leaves and he clings to his wife. And
Mhm.
no matter, I mentioned that we don't know how he processed, but however he processes, it needs to be with his wife. Like if I need alone time, I need to bring my wife with my alone time. Like in that situation, and alone time doesn't mean I stick her in another room. I just need to just make sure she's good, sit in a chair, I see her, and I need to process. Also, in cultural scenarios, let's just say I love South African culture. Let's just say the husband or the king of a civilization, his mother is called the Ngovugazi, which means the great elephant, right? But as soon as he marries, she becomes second. Like the wife is the principal Ngovugazi of everything. Now the mother doesn't get any disrespect, but the wife is way up here, right? So everything shifts when you become married, and of course this is blurred in that relationship.
But what do you
Mhm.
do when you go to your mother and say, hey, can you stop treating Tracy this way? She's feeling a certain way. And then your mom doesn't change. And he's like, come on, mom,
Everybody knows their mother.
because you don't want to lose that relationship with your mother. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody, let me tell you something. That there's nothing that if you're a mother worth your grain and salt, there's nothing my son can do to make me lose his love. Now, so maybe he could do something to make me not respect him, but not lose his love. If he came to me and say, "Mom, I really he this is a true story. I really like this girl or whatever." I don't really I don't like her and I don't like her. I don't really have any feelings towards the girl, but I've always told him this is your life. If that's who you love, I can't tell you, who
Thank
to
you.
love. I cannot tell you that. You have to do what makes you happy, and I will be happy if you are happy. Why? I mean, to me, that mom is in a miserable place herself.
Right. She
Why
ain't got
would
no
you
man.
want your son and your son's wife to be miserable? To me, that's something you got this brand new grandbaby. You should be focusing
Right.
on that,
Yeah.
not on
You.
insulting them, disrespecting them, crossing all. So,
Exactly.
I mean, it's to me, it's like some of these women, not all, some of these mothers they're lonely. They don't even realize that they are putting all this on their sons. And it's like you are responsible for your happiness, mom, not your son.
That's right. It
You
almost
should be
sounds
happy with him.
it sounds incestuous. I need to read some comments, guys.
It's
Uh,
just,
it does. It really does to me. Keisha says I told my ex-husband what was happening, and I ended up leaving him right there with his raggedy mama. Damn. Um,
Mm,
uh, I'm with Keisha, ladies. Don't date to marry a man unless their mama dead or in prison.
dang.
Baby,
Oh,
listen.
okay.
But
That's
hold
scary.
on. Keisha said, I will only date a man if his mom is deceased. I don't ever want another mother-in-law again. So
Yeah.
this is to you, Brian. See, just saying, put your leg on me. What do you mean?
Yeah, I was about to say he didn't know he tripping on that one. But I'll tell you what, Felicia said something really cool, really insightful. In this whole scenario, we've never heard of the husband's father. All we're hearing about is the mom. Now
Yeah,
Mhm.
let's just assume if we don't hear about anything of the father, that the father's not there, which
Right.
creates an even tighter bond
Right.
between mother and son. And if the mother sees that her son, if the dad's gone for whatever reason, divorced, deceased, we don't know, but if he's not there, and the only thing that she's got is the son, yeah. The further that thing starts going away, or she feels like it's going away, or she feels like she's not going to be included, the worse she gets.
Mm-hmm.
but
Tanya.
what a son will do sometimes when he is really close to his mom, he will go and mom, she's doing this, or mom, she's doing
That's
that,
what
or
happened.
just kind of nag a little
Yeah,
bit about his wife here and there, and that will
Mhm.
make a mother not like
Yeah, but she
his
went too far.
outlaw.
No,
And
you
see, that's when you need the mommy strong arm. I don't want to hear nothing about your
I know
relationship
exactly, right?
because I don't, and I'm like the mommy strong arm to all my kids. I don't want to hear nothing about your relationship because guess what? Once mama hate him or her, she's gonna always hate him or her. It's not gonna
always. Yeah.
change.
Always,
So
it won't
keep that
change.
to yourself. Don't
no,
tell
yeah.
me about
I
your
tell my
problems
kids
with your
the same
man or
thing
your
too,
girlfriend.
right? I told my oldest, don't tell me shit about anybody you still want to be friends with.
Right.
That's you. Listen, when I come to those recitals, I'll be looking at them like this.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, because you hurt my baby. I mean, and I
Yeah.
tell everybody in my life, even
So
my nieces,
true.
don't tell me shit. If you like
Yeah.
this man and you vent, I'm not the one to vent with. Don't vent with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
If
my
you gonna
God,
go back, don't tell me nothing about it. If you going,
nothing.
I don't want to hear about the argument or disagree. If you going back, you make that decision to go back. Don't tell me nothing about it because I don't want to hear it. Because it's like even me and my relationship. I never told my parents anything about my husband. Me and him could be fighting till we get to inside the house at Christmas. Babe, do you want me to fix your plate? That's what I'm doing. They're never gonna know the issues we have. Then we'll get back in the car and I'm looking out the window. But it's you don't tell your parents, and my mom even told me, don't tell me nothing about y'all,
Mhm.
situation. Because we can't, as a parent, it's hard to forgive somebody that
Yeah,
hurts your baby.
It's just hard to
Right.
yeah,
separate. It's hard to separate that. Yeah.
Yeah,
very, very. Y'all are always on mama bear mode.
yeah,
Now, but let's talk about him putting her out
yeah.
and
No.
then what happened after that process
Right.
because he just needs space. Okay, wait.
I don't give a
Is this
damn
our
about this.
house? Like, you go get space outside or go to the room. You put her out the house with the baby.
With the baby.
And she's
With the,
breastfeeding. And
What
she's
the heck?
breastfeeding. She just had this baby. Okay.
2 weeks.
Right. Keisha says my daughter-in-law is crazy about me. We were extremely close. I learned how not to treat her because of my ex's mom treated, and that's good.
That's true.
That's
I
good.
tell you what, Keisha has a scenario for every scenario. We could literally be talking about. We could literally be talking about. You know what? My ex girlfriend kissed a bear on national television. Keisha be like, I done had two niggas kiss bears in front of me, and I told him, I was like,
Ah! Hey, leave Keisha alone.
I love Keisha
Leave Keisha
comment.
alone.
Keep them coming.
my
Uh-uh.
bad.
I love you,
So
Keisha.
thank you,
We love
Keisha.
you.
So I
We
want
do, we do. But my goodness, Keisha has lived
Yeah.
to hey, leave
But
five
Keisha.
I agree
lives.
with Tanya. Like we live
Yeah.
together. We're in this together.
Hater.
We're in this together. Why you put me out? Why you
Yeah.
first of all, let me
Right.
tell you something. When you put your wife out of your house, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
a big
And
deal.
then the thing too, though, she's never gonna feel safe by him, which means she's never gonna protect him. She's all gonna be talking shit to him.
Yeah.
Not you
That
cannot
means
lead her ever,
this is this is what I get from that. You watch me pack bottles, you watch me pack
baby.
clothes, you watch me pick up the baby in the car seat and walk out
Right.
the house. You watch me do all this, and not once did you say, "Wait a minute, baby." No, I'm sorry. I
I don't
lost
know
my
what I
mind.
was
You
thinking, right?
watched me do all of that.
But it'd be too late though to stop me because see. I wouldn't have even stopped. I don't give a damn if you change your mind last minute. If you said those words to me, you better stand in your shit because I'm not coming back.
I'm
Bye.
not leaving. This is my house.
Well, I
You
would.
yeah,
get your
that,
ass
that-
out.
yeah,
Right.
that's
That's
yeah.
nice. But if I had to, so do you think what do you think their nationality? No, let me not do that again.
Yeah.
No,
I was gonna
no,
say
Do
it.
you think that?
no.
Do you think 8 days was enough time for her? Because she was gone for 8 days. He could not reach her for 8 days, and for
He
her to
would have
hand
reached
him
forever.
divorce papers after 8 days. Do you
Kim,
think?
you watch me pack up my newborn baby and
Yeah,
me
we
and
got too
leave
much.
the house. 2 hours is enough to serve you divorce papers. Because
Thank
that
you.
makes me feel like you don't care about me. You're not
We don't.
protecting me and this baby. You just told me to get out. You didn't try to figure out where I was going. There is no protection. You no protection. Just get out of my
He
presence.
begged her back. He begged her back. Please, I don't want a
Who you
divorce. I
damn
want
if
to
you
Too
begged?
separate.
late.
And you should
Too
have
late.
been. No, you should have begged when you told me to get the. Actually, you should have slapped your. No, you shouldn't have.
No, no slapping the mama.
No.
I kid. Oh my God, CJ.
What?
We
What?
know what
No,
voice.
I don't think. I
We
don't think
know
they're
what
white.
nationality that was.
I don't think they're white.
I think that
Right.
I don't think they are either. I think it's something else. But yeah, no,
No, that
no,
can't be. That can't be, guys. It sounded trailer parkish to me.
No.
no. Think about the husband is cooking food for everybody.
You have to hear her voice though. I believe they are. They are Caucasian. If you listen to her part, this because there's a second video where she gives her part, and why she wants the divorce and why she can't go back and you
But
know
but no, I think it's people narrating that. I don't think it's the actual people.
you don't think so?
Oh.
No, it's not. CJ, them was black people.
No, it's a second story where she called in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a
Mm.
second
Yes.
part to it.
So yeah, I think she is Caucasian, but she called in to give her story, to give her point of view, since her husband did that.
Oh, we
See,
got
look, see, look at you. We were dealing with some clears.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because
You know what? It's no nationality. I've seen
it
it
don't
all.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
it don't
like I
matter.
said, my
It's
husband
every
is a
race. It's
football coach.
people.
I have
yeah.
seen moms be so toxic. Their son is like 10 years old. 10. I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the moms is already saying, yeah, he's gonna make it to the pros. He's gonna take care of his mom. He's gonna buy his mama a house. Like, say what now? You've already put that pressure on a 10-year-old.
listen, I'm
Hmm.
10.
telling you, like,
I hear mom
yes,
say, it's just me and you, baby. Me and my son go on dates, which that's cool to a certain
Yeah.
extent. But it's like, oh, y'all doing too much. You doing way too much, mom. You know,
listen. One of my family members, let me just say, this, my brother that lives in the States, he first came here, right? Before I
Mhm.
came. If he did not leave South Africa when he left, he probably wouldn't have been married to his wife. I promise you that. Because after he left, after my father passed away, because after my father passed away, that particular brother, he became like a father figure to us, right? Because we were so much younger. And my mom at the time wasn't driving, so he would drive her everywhere. After he got married, if my mom called him on a Sunday, he had to come back to the house to take her wherever. And it was like his wife was like, no. So they ended up moving to the States. And I honestly, when I look back on it, I think that if they did not move, mm-mm, it would
Yeah,
have been.
y'all's cultural vetting processes are totally different. I mean, if we were to
Yeah.
talk about other cultures, let's say Japanese culture, there is no such thing as once you give away your daughter to marry into someone else's family, that's pretty much it. She already knows that she is in it, and we're talking culturally. She doesn't have much say. She's got to do certain things a certain way. She's even got to walk behind her husband certain feet. So, like what you're talking about, those cultural differences, it's only in places like America can all of those things be totally washed clear, and then two people can meet each other, and then 2 weeks later they move in, and then 2 months later they're married, stuff like that. The vetting processes in this culture are in America just are crazy. Like there almost isn't one, right? But
There has to be
it,
a
like
balance, Brian. There is no balance. Like when I think back over, even like from there's no freaking balance, like at all. Like your
but there's
parents,
no guideline. Nobody cares about the guideline, even if there was a balance. So if we're talking from a Christian point of view, there's a guideline in the Bible, but people believe in a God in the Bible that they don't even read. So they don't even go by that, first of all. Then second of all, you have all of these, especially in this day and age, we have all of these different sources, podcasts, TV interviews, all this giving their position on nonsensical issues that aren't even correct, that are damaging people's minds and thought processes on how to do things. And oh my God, ladies, if he pay for a Cash App card, what you gonna do? That is a nonsensical conversation that is starting to change people's mindsets about what is wrong, what is right when it comes to dating. So to even get to the marriage portion, oh my goodness, it's crazy. That's why you've got all of these hurt people, these unhealed people, these people who are going through life through their unresolved traumas as children and even adults in their past relationships, just skipping to the next person, skipping to the next person, skipping to the next. So yeah, of course there's not going to be balance. Hell, people don't even know who they are. There's a whole bunch of people out here in this world that can't go out to eat with themselves or can't go to the movies with themselves because they don't like themselves. And you're talking about I'm fixing to go get in a relationship or I'm fixing to start dating. Please, it's a train wreck ready to happen. So old boy kicking her out, and the train wreck, like everybody agrees, has been building up. So it doesn't matter if it took her 5 minutes to come to the conclusion or 8 days to come to the conclusion. That conclusion was going to be made, right? Like, how much more does she have to go through with the mother-in-law and the son defending the mother-in-law, or the son not defending the wife at all, because this ain't the first time he hasn't not defended her. Like, how much more is she going to go through that? And I say it all the time. You cannot legislate how people react when you disrespect them or you dishonor them. And her reaction was final. So I don't know the second part. I don't know if they got back together, but that was the straw for her.
There's a second part. They're not going to get back together. What does this mean, Brian? Brian needs to go on a 20 verse 1. What does that mean?
Oh no! What does that
Oh,
mean?
the balloon thing, right?
Hell no! No! I'm not. First of all, you're not going to drive me to no abandoned warehouse in Atlanta for nothing, right? I don't care how many women are in there. No, you're not finna trap me in that situation. But
That would
hell
be
no.
funny though. I can see Brian going in on everybody.
Oh my
No,
God.
no, no, no. That balloon show is stupid as hell.
Yo,
Yeah,
I
that's
want to
crazy.
address this comment. It
Yes,
says, I
I
ain't
went on
gonna
a date
get
with my son. Yes, I've
right.
been on a date
So
with my son.
thank you. And I do it because my
I
son
do.
is at the dating age and I need him to do certain things and understand this is
Right,
how you treat a woman.
Mm.
Okay.
right.
So that's
Like,
why.
just
But
little,
so
and
if
I mean,
you're
I
saying
know,
you want,
but I think if you go on a date to fulfill something inside yourself,
no,
no,
that
Yeah.
That's
wouldn't
an
be
interesting.
like
Yeah.
I think me and my son dates or stuff like, I'll watch what he order and I'll be like, son, don't order finger foods on your first date, baby. You don't want to be picking up no chicken. And I mean, son, don't, so it's just kind of
right? It's a
that,
teaching moment. It's a
don't pick
teaching
stuff
moment.
right.
that falls on the floor, let it stay on the floor. Don't pick nothing up off the floor until you're ready to go. It's
She
just
said,
those little things that, that you teach, even like we do it with family dinners as well. But when me and him one-on-one, wait till I sit down, son, before you sit down. Of course he knows the open doors and stuff like that. But yes, I have one on, and it's more, and it is teaching. And my husband has one on dates with my daughter, and it is teaching. So it's like them getting that experience. It's still parenting. It's not,
No,
we
fulfilling
laugh and we
needs.
have a good time, don't
Right.
but it's not, like me and my husband going out to eat.
Right.
Well,
And
one
that's
of the things in the other video that the lady brought up was that because they are in the middle of getting a divorce, but one thing that she is stipulating is that her child never be alone with the grandmother without
Wow.
someone present.
Wow.
She
Mhm.
doesn't want the grandmother to be involved in the child's rearing. She doesn't want a grandmother there by herself with her child. So I know
now
that's
could
Wow.
it be
I
because
would.
I mean, what were you gonna say, Joshua?
I was saying I would agree with that though, because I mean, if she was talking bad about the mother to the son, then how much evil would she spew onto that child about her
That's true.
mother?
Or the treatment. Maybe the wife seen how she treated the son and was
Yeah.
like, no, not with
Right.
my child.
Yeah, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna pass down this bullshit. Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
definitely.
You're
But
right. Absolutely right.
hopefully. So, go ahead, Kim. I'm sorry.
oh no, I won't say anything. Go ahead.
Hopefully, this changes the mother-in-law, the way she's been moving. Hopefully,
No, it won't.
hopefully, I try to have hope.
No,
Like
it
No,
won't.
we
maybe,
should. No, it won't.
maybe
No, it
she'll
won't.
miss the.
Because she won. She won. She got rid
I'm
of her. She
I'm
won. So why
curious.
would she change?
I'm curious of how the mother-in-law treats her other kids. That's what I'm curious about, or if it's just that son and his relationship,
Maybe it's the
or
only.
Or yeah.
Maybe it's the only child. That's why it's like that.
well,
No,
no,
he had a
because it was his
niece.
he had a
sister and
niece.
her husband.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I
He's the
forgot that.
only male, it sounds like. He's the only
Yeah.
male
But
child.
see, in my culture, woman like with my mother and even my grandmother and them, they were more for the boys than they were for the girls. They treat the girls like slaves, and the boys could do whatever they wanted to do. And that's just what it was.
Yeah, Roman
Actually,
culture.
Well, okay. With that being said, if the father and the mother and the niece was there, why the daddy didn't step in and say, "Hey, slow your roll"?
but no one mentions a daddy though. There's
The
no
Yeah.
mention.
dad was outside with him smoking a cigarette.
Okay.
You
But
talking about the
still,
His
as
dad?
a
his
daughter,
dad.
No,
if
the
we're at the
sister's
table,
husband.
if everybody's at the table
Yeah.
eating, she's getting seconds asking for more, the mom or the dad should have stepped in and said, "You good. We'll get you something on the way out." You know.
We'll get you some
Hey,
chicken nuggets, big girl, or
You
something.
say what?
We'll get you some chicken nuggets on the way out. I mean, it sounds
Yeah. You good. And I don't know, like I don't know the nationality, but you know how you get your kids that look like for
yes.
real?
ask something else.
Okay.
Ask
Where
something
is
else.
that? That sounds like there's no boundaries. The little girl didn't have no boundaries. So it might be a no boundary family. I've
But
said
Might,
that
might
too.
be might be a clear family.
it sounds like it. I'm just saying.
But if you have a child that is crying and is hungry and is like, I want more,
How old was she?
If you
Hold on.
had two plates, you're not that hungry.
She
Not
said
two
And what?
they
crying.
said he said
she's
No.
12.
14,
No, she
She's
ain't.
5,
12.
five
Nah,
something and 190 pounds.
She was
she was
12
five
years
five and
old.
190. She was a thick one. She
She's a
was.
big one.
She might have been thick, but you're not crying hungry. You okay.
No,
You're not. You're not.
not after
You're
two
not crying.
plates.
You're not
Yeah, I'm
starving.
I'm 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 6 foot 205, and to be 5'5", 190, yeah, you got chunky knuckles.
Yeah.
No, come on. She's
Yeah.
14, guys.
I don't
Yeah.
care. She got chunky knuckles.
But yeah, as a parent, even if her parents were there, they should have stepped in and said, "No, she good." Even if the mother's sitting there watching the mother-in-law, I would have been like, "No, she good. No, she good."
Mhm.
But like
They should have
nobody
pinched
has
her side.
boundaries.
They
I
should have
mean,
pinched her and told the girl, calm the fuck down because you ain't eating else.
yeah.
Okay? You done
Yeah.
ate enough.
I
I'm just
mean,
But
saying.
like Brian said, these problems were Brian and Kim and everybody on the panel has said these problems have been going on for years. That
mhm.
it's just come to fruition with this punch. But I'm not gonna lie to you. When you first have a baby, and I've had three, when you first have a baby, you already feel self conscious about that weight. Your hormones are up and down. She breastfeeding, so the poor woman probably was tired. She
Right.
probably was dead tired. She probably was thinking, I'm done feeding the baby. I'm gonna go eat and I'm gonna go lay down. And then you got your mother-in-law tapping you on the stomach, telling you can miss some meals. That's like
Maybe.
that. I don't care if y'all have never had a problem ever. That would make
Yeah,
anybody snap.
that
Oh,
was out of
especially in
pocket.
your own house.
Move all the way back.
Yeah,
She should have
That's
got her. I mean,
crazy.
baby, I would have reached back to Chicago and gave it to her. She would have got it. Cause I mean that's it. Keep your hands to yourself. The point in patting on your stomach, that's the part
right.
that would have broke
Trigger.
anybody. I don't care if you're the sweetest person on earth. That's the
Yeah,
straw
don't
that
do
breaks the
that.
camel's back.
Nah.
Yeah.
You crossing a
Especially after
boundary.
giving birth.
She shouldn't have
Yeah.
touched it, period. I mean, this
No.
wouldn't have happened if she didn't teach her on the stomach. I'm just saying.
Because some
It wouldn't
things
have
you can
happened.
overlook with older
Right.
people and their little snide comments. You can like, you know
No,
what? I'm gonna
no,
overlook that because you
so
old.
much you can take. I'm sorry. There's so much you can take.
There's
Now,
so
I
much you can
made this
take.
once, twice. The third time, I'm cussing you the out.
Yeah.
You
The little
want
snide comments, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna let you have that
no.
one because you old. You know what? You ain't got nothing going for you. I'm gonna let you have that one.
Hmm.
But then
Baby, you
it
only
gets to a
got
point
two
where it's
good
like, you
summers
know what? I'm
left.
gonna put you in
Yeah,
your
Yeah,
it's
place.
some
yeah,
you can say
exactly.
she only got two good summers left. I'm gonna let you live these out. But that mother-in-law, no.
So
Mm-mm.
let me ask y'all a question,
Uh,
and there's no right or wrong answer to this. It's just your opinion. Let's just say the wife didn't leave. Is this a situation that is reconcilable?
No.
reconcilable. You mean
Let's just
between
say
husband
let's just
and
say
wife?
the wife. Let's just say the wife doesn't divorce, and she, they quote unquote work things out between husband and wife,
Mm-mm.
and they continue. Is this situation reconcilable? With husband, wife, mother-in-law, or is it something to where you just put people show you who they are and you put them in a category? Like, I mean, is it a situation where the wife says, hey, look, I'm just not dealing with your mom. If she's around, I'm not going to be around. And if she is, if I am, then it's just going to be cordial hi and bye. Is any of this reconcilable in any of your opinions?
I
Okay.
think so. I think it is.
I think so.
Yeah. I think anything is if there
reconcile.
are certain boundaries put in place, then I think that it can happen. And I think with them having a real conversation about what hurts me, and you not protecting me, and you not standing up, and if you don't think you can stand up to your mom, then I can't be in the same room with her. I can't,
You
because your
know,
mom was toxic, and having that real conversation. But I think it can be.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you why from life experience, because I've had things happen when I was married that happened, and my ex said something like, "Well, what do you want me to do?" That's my, I won't say certain family member, and something happened twice, and it affected our marriage because I did not respect him after that. I felt like I had to be the man, the woman, the child. I had to be all those roles, even though he was 6'4", 280. He couldn't tell me shit after that. I'm just being honest. He couldn't
Yeah.
tell me a thing. I did not respect him. And I did not give, baby, my mouth was because of those two. So I don't think truly it could ever reconcile because she does not feel protected. And as you know, woman, we need security and protection. If I don't feel safe, that means I can't take my bra off at night. That means I'm sleeping with, you understand what I'm saying? For me. Because
Hmm.
think about it when you, okay, I know, Tim, okay, you are not comfortable. I would not be comfortable. In this case, we would have to separate. I'm
Yeah.
not giving you another chance. Fuck you. No.
Well, that would be, and I'll answer your question with a question. That would be like my father coming to you telling you you not a man, you just a broke ass. I mean, that's just some stuff you can't take
Woo!
back and get out
Right.
of your head, you know. And it's like I'm gonna constantly think he's gonna take his mama's side. You know,
Mhm.
you watch me, and yeah, I still can't get past. You watch me pack bottles and pack the baby. You watch me do this, and
Right.
you let me leave. I can't get past that. That you
And
know
I
that
was
for me,
leaking.
I can't get past it.
Girl. Because you know, you think about after you had a baby, right? And you breastfeeding. Can you imagine
It
having to
hurts.
do, because I'm thinking as a woman, having to do all those things. Your breasts are leaking because now I'm emotional. My child, because your child, oh, I mean, it had to have been so chaotic.
It's
Absolutely
traumatic.
chaotic. Yes.
It's
So I
traumatic.
can't
And I
come back.
mean, and I guess in the same term, it's like a man being disrespected. Like
Right.
if the mama came into your house and slapped you, and then your wife tell
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
I'm
How
gonna
would
need
you
everybody to
feel?
leave, including my husband, despite what the situation is you
Oh,
feel
no.
disrespected. I've been disrespected altogether, just disrespected as a human. But like I said, no, absolutely not. I'm not taking your ass back. You didn't watch me pack me and my baby up. You watch us leave. You watch me burn rubber out the. No,
What
no.
about
What
And
we
there's
talk? We ain't got nothing to
there's
talk
got
about.
to be
Matter of
more
fact,
to it
let
though.
me send the movers over there to get the rest of my stuff because
Yeah,
we
for
don't have
sure.
nothing to
There's
talk about.
more.
There's
Yeah.
Hold
more
on,
to
but Joshua said you agree with Kim. You think it's reconcilable.
I do, but I mean I'm more of a hopeless romantic type of person, anyways. But I do think, because I think everything can be reconcilable. But I can also see Felicia and Robbie aside on all those things. But for me, I'm like, yeah, I mean it. Even with, because I know I'm saying this, and I'm one who has been divorced, and I understand what it with the whole trying to
Yeah,
reconcile a marriage and it didn't work and all of our different stuff. But it's one of those things that if both of them work on and actually build trust, if the wife is willing to work on it and build that trust with him back up and
Nope.
see that he actually changes and set boundaries with his mother, then I do think that it can be reconcilable. But it all depends on the husband if he is actually willing to change and set boundaries with his mother.
I
I
don't give
agree.
a damn. It's about loyalty. It's
It's
about
the people.
loyalty.
What
Nope.
about
It's
you,
the people.
Tanya?
I mean, I agree with him to the extent that it's the people. It's the two people, and it's the relationship that you have. And
Yeah.
it seems like he did try. I'm gonna give him that to do the boundaries when she was 7 months pregnant. He tried.
Yeah, but
You
he
know, he
didn't.
did put forth effort in that. So I don't know. Like it's kind of like we're judging, like we're on the outside looking in. We
Yeah,
really
yeah.
don't
We're
hear
looking at it
all
in
the
the vacuum.
conversations. We really don't know every little detail that goes in behind this situation. So yeah, it depends on the people. But for me, like,
In
yeah,
my
baby,
You
house,
pack that bag out of Texas,
I
man.
will, I will say this.
We will serve the Lord. For me and my
I
house.
will. I
right.
I
I
will.
mean,
mean,
it's a good thought. The reason why, and it's like what Robbie has said, protection. I
Mhm.
want to feel like no matter what, you got my back because that's how I am. I love hard. And it's
Right.
like, okay, you don't have my back. You gon', I wouldn't let my mom talk to my husband any kind of way. I won't let my dad
True.
talk to my husband any kind of way. But you gonna let
Right.
your mom talk to me crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
No,
You
you
gotta
don't
and
have
got
and
my
that
back.
that
respect.
that is
You
that
know?
is presents the so like I said, there's no right or wrong answer to that. It's just what we think, what could possibly happen. Like two people could actually reconcile, somebody couldn't. But something like that, a level of disrespect in that arena is almost like well, it isn't almost like, it's pretty much the same thing. The anxiety. If your anxiety gets to a point where that's all you're thinking about, it's like someone cheating on you, right? Let's just
Mhm.
say one reason why I could never give a person who cheated on me a second chance is you can't defeat your imagination. And now, when you have evidence that some parts of your imagination actually were true, well, then every time they walk out of the house, that's one of the first things you're thinking about. Your imagination kicks in, your anxiety goes overboard, and then that causes stress. And we know what stress can do to the body, right? And you even almost discredit them if they are trying to tell the truth, if they are trying to do better, and it's just a big cluster F of BS that you just can't get over that easy, or in years, or however long it takes. So this is the same situation. The women keep saying all of these extra asterisks of which men don't understand. That's why it's important to listen. Like y'all are talking about breast milk and the emotional changes of this, and how my body thinks after this breaking, pumping out a baby, and blah 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 blah, blah. And then to capsize it all, your mama disrespected me physically and mentally and emotionally, and then you didn't protect me. Y'all start, the thing about women is y'all think about everything else outside of that scenario, not just the scenario. So y'all could be like, if she got back with him, they could be at Walmart, and one of those shopping carts could be loose, and she'd be like, "You ain't gonna forget me from that shopping cart." Like her mind could go nuts, and I don't think anybody's prepared to really go through that because of the emotional trauma that comes along with that. That is very tough to overcome. It's
and
very tough.
and we don't know her childhood, what happened in her childhood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's that too, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe she's never felt safe in her childhood. Maybe that's why it's such a hard no for her. Like, I'm not gonna stay with this mother because of, but you know what I'm saying? It could be a lot of things. Um, guys, it's their time. Joshua, thank you. You know what? I almost called you Marcus. Why? I don't know. Like twice.
Oh my
Dang,
God.
that's messed up, but his name is right there.
It's right
I
there.
know.
It's, 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 it's
I
right
know.
there.
Yes. We thank you so much for coming on, and we want you to come back again if you have time.
Oh yeah,
You
for
dating a
sure.
guy named Marcus?
No, baby, his name is not Marcus.
Oh, okay.
Joshua.
He's just
Okay.
trying to see Marcus in the house.
No, there's no Marcus now. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching out there. Thank you, Brian. We hope to see you again. Felicia, Kim, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.